Welcome back to Leadership Bytes, your short but impactful dose of future-ready leadership insights. I'm Claire, and here I have with me Raymond, and we're exploring what every leader needs to know about the upcoming age of AI.
AI is shifting leadership's perspectives faster than even people can realize.
Why are so many organizations and clients talking about AI in leadership right now?
AI was first discovered back in the 1950s, and that's how long it's taken to actually make it something that's a little bit more mature technology to where it is right now. It's gone from a niche technology to something every business leader needs to grapple with. And this could be from data analysis, from data-driven decisions, to automation, productivity, and even reshaping how teams actually work. So it's touching every aspect of leadership.
Let's break that down.
Mm.
How exactly does AI change the traditional leadership role?
There are a few ways. The first one is AI enables leaders to make smarter decisions. And what that means is there are so much more algorithms that's in AI that helps them to analyze more data than any human can, right? So it uncovers trends, it uncovers patterns that helps leaders to make decisions. That's the first thing. The second thing is automation means leaders spend less time to do repetitive work. It helps people to plan scheduling, it helps people to do data entry and also to anticipate basic customer inquiries. The third thing is predictive analytics. That helps leaders to anticipate what's happening around them in terms of market shifts, in terms of macro environmental factors, in terms of identifying what the opportunities may be, and also to prevent issues before they even snowball. AI also helps in terms of talent management and also talent development. It can now do things where it adapts training and roles to match strengths in terms of individuals and what is it that they can deliver.
That's fascinating. Could you share with us an example of AI turbocharging our productivity or decision making?
It's interesting, but many retailers today use AI to forecast sales, optimize inventories, cutting off waste, waste management, and also trying to boost profits. Financial institutions also use AI to flag fraud transactions and risky transactions instantly so that they can take action before the damage is done.
With all this change, what skills do leaders need to thrive instead of just surviving?
I think that's a great question for me. But I feel that one of the areas is the element of curiosity. Curiosity, basically staying open for leaders in terms of the new tool, what the new tool could do, how the new tool could complement leaders in them achieving the results as quickly as possible. It's also vital to see AI more as a partner, right, rather than an enemy or a threat. So leaders need to build trust in their teams. They need to communicate, have transparency in how they manage this in terms of their team members. It is also important that they champion ethics and privacy and transparency and fairness, which are also more urgently needed than ever. Apart from curiosity, empathy is the other component, right? AI may streamline tasks, but leaders, I feel, must connect. They need to connect, they need to motivate, they need to inspire and support their team members, especially in terms of the jobs which involve AI itself.
Does this mean that leaders need to become AI experts?
Not necessarily. I don't think leaders need to become AI experts itself, but they must understand the fundamentals. They must have some knowledge to ask the smart questions so that they can guide AI projects a little bit more wisely and explain changes with clarity and also confidence to their team members. So it's a buy-in as far as their team members are concerned.
Let's talk real life stories. So who's doing this well?
I think, okay, from my personal experience, I know two companies that I can talk about. One is Duolingo. All right. I'm sure you're familiar with Duolingo, but Duolingo's leadership led using AI to overhaul making lessons more adaptive. So, in other words, based on the learner's pace, they use that as a basis to either accelerate learning or to pace them based on what they want to do. So, they use data. All right, so they use data to keep users engaged and also motivated through that learning process. And eventually it drives growth in that individual. The other company I can think about is JPMorgan. All right, so if you talk about JPMorgan has launched small pilot projects in fraud detection and also combining executive support with clear guidelines for responsible use of systems within the banking industry. Both show the power of starting small, listening to teams, and also continuing to build trust so that they get a buy-in from everybody in the team itself.
I feel like ethics comes up a lot. So what steps should leaders take to ensure that AI is used responsibly?
Again, that's a really good question because the best leaders create an oversight, right? So when they create oversight, they encourage teams to spot bias, have clear standards, and also transparency, and maintain open communication. So as and when there is a detection in the compromise of AI and the use of AI, they can alert it. They can alert pretty much management and leaders so that they can take action. They ask not just what AI can do, but what is it that they should do and invite feedback from their team members.
Are there any pitfalls that you see often?
I can think about one of them, and that is rushing to implementation. So imagine if you rush in and you're impulsive and you're not planned without clear goals or missing out in terms of effective communication, right? What that basically does is it just doesn't give people the confidence to continue using AI within the organization. I think there needs to be a lot of communications that need to happen so that you can pace the onboarding of AI.
For listeners that are ready to take their first step, what is your advice for them?
I feel like I'm taking my first step, and the way I've been doing it, or the way I've been encouraging, advising, or coaching people to do it, is to look at prototyping, looking at pilot project. Pick one area which is a bottleneck, or one area that desires some kind of AI involvement, so that you could make the process a little bit more efficient. I think it's important for everybody to experiment it together, including the leader, right? The leader gets involved and he experiments together with the team, and also at the same time realizes the results that he gets or the team gets. So it's also important to encourage questions, to encourage feedback, to share learning, and make sure that ethics stick in every part of the conversation. The other thing is, again, like I mentioned earlier, stay curious, right? I think staying curious is really important. Tune in terms of what new AI trends are out there. Attend conferences, connect with your peers who are actually further along in that process.
So looking ahead, how do you think leadership will change 5 years from now?
Looking at my crystal ball, I think there needs to be more collaboration, right? There needs to be more collaboration. There needs to be discussion around how teams can be more agile, and also leaders creating the clear vision for people so that the team members can experiment and they can prototype what is it that they're trying to do. Now, if you look at success typically will belong to those blending digital fluency with empathy and also ethics.
Raymond, thank you so much for these insights, and to everyone tuning in, we'll see you in the next episode of Leadership Bytes. Until then, keep leading and keep learning.
And if you enjoyed this video, share with us your comments in terms of how AI could be affecting you or how AI is used in your organizations.